I'm Foxanne. I'm an indie pop artist here in Los Angeles, California. If you caught the previous episode, we took a look at what came with LD's new Maui G3 series compact PA system. But today, we are going to actually see what it takes to put it together and get it ready for the stage. So, let's start. So, to start with, I'm just going to build the towers. So we have our subwoofer here on the bottom, and there are two different towers that we're going to connect. So you can kind of tell by the shape. So the first one, the kind of mid-range that goes right on top of the subwoofer, it has this kind of V shape here. They look very similar, but you'll see that V shape and it does not have LD's logo right here. So that's what you want to start with first. You don't want to mix them up. So we're going to start with this, and you just want to see these big guide bolts, these big giant bolts here at the bottom. You want to line these bolts up with the holes that are right on top of each of these subwoofers, and just very, very gently and carefully line them up, shimmy it in there, and make sure it's really connected. Because all those pins that are on the bottom are going to connect with the base here, and you want to make sure those are all connected and flush. It's really great that it doesn't have a ton of extra cables that you need to connect all the pieces with, but you do still have to be really careful about making sure it's all connected. So now we've got our high raise. You can see it's got the logo right here, just to make sure you're picking up and plugging in the correct one. Very important. And we've got our bolts. Again, just line those up. Shimmy them in. And that's it. They are connected. They are flush. So we've got two of them here, but before we get to the second one, let me just make sure we have our power going. So this only comes with a single cable, and it's just the power cable. So you just want to plug that in right there. And then let's get our second one together. So obviously we have two here, but you could just use one if you want to fill a room with space. But you could also use one to put your sound out to the audience, and you could use the second one flipped around as a monitor. As an artist with my band, that's really exciting because not only could we bring a PA system to the show to put our music out to the audience, but we could have some really great sound coming back at us. So, guideposts, line it up. Woof. There we go. One more piece. Lining it up carefully. There we go. All right, so on our mixing board over there, we've just got our two XLR outputs, left and right, and we can just plug that right into the back of here. What's cool about it is that we could also input 1/4-inch instrument cables right into the back of here as well. Even if you don't have a mixing board, if say you had a guitar amp, you could actually plug your guitar amp, your 1/4-inch cable right into the back of here to amplify the sound. So that's pretty much it. It's plugged into our mixer. We've got our power cables in, and then we're just gonna flip the switch, give it a second and let it power on. And you can see all the lights turning on, all the lights turning on, and we're good to go. So again, the controls on this are really simple, but if we want to take a look at what we can actually control just from the back of this system, we have our main volume knob, and we also, even though we can control the volume of the full system with the main knob, we also have a separate knob to kind of bump up and amplify specifically the sub. One other fun thing that you can control from the back of here, if you see this, it says hold to link. This is a button where you can actually connect it via Bluetooth. So if you want to take the signal, if you want to take the sound that's coming through here and you want to send it out, we do have left and right through lines, and you can also take the sub out. So one last button that appears to be unlabeled on the back has a very unique ability. So this button right next to the Bluetooth button switches the system into what's called cardioid mode. If you just have one tower, but you have two subs, you can twirl one of the subs around, put it into cardioid mode. So you would just connect these two subs together using that sub out into the other sub. And you can fill a space with just a single tower. It changes, hence cardioid, it changes the audio waves into an almost heart-like shape that fills the space in a really unique way that can also prevent feedback. Thanks for tuning in, and huge thank you again to LD and performer Mag. Check us out in the next episode where we try this out, figure out what it's like to actually use this system, and we'll tell you what we think about it. Again, I'm Foxanne, and I make indie pop music, so feel free to check it out online at Foxanne on all streaming services, and check us out in the next episode.